Ultimately, the Kai'Sa does make sense, does follow up really well to what Nongshim have put together. The poke can lead into enough chip damage to where then the Kai'Sa goes in and finishes off a target.
With our objective feats of strength, you don't necessarily want to always give over 3 grubs at the same time, but they will this time. Nongshim will get 1 dot on the top of our UI.
I do think that, you know, given the... Hold up.
Ooh, nice little hook there. Even an Ignite to come out. Just a bit of pressure being put on, especially with Geo at level 6 first. A lot of pressure in mid and even in bot as Bessa was nowhere to be seen. And so they're going to try to make their move at this Ocean Drake. But TP is coming in. And so Gideon might just back away and concede it. I say that he is moving back in. As here comes the Maokai ultimate to deny him. No smite available, or even possible, I should say, for Gideon. And so KT, get in, get out, take the Ocean Drake down.
Yeah.
So just denying a plate in a sense.
All right, Gideon's here. They do have teleport for Fisher. If you wanted to try to look for a flank, he is in prio right now as well. Remember, BDD still doesn't have flash.
It's just a straight-up fight for the grubs. I feel like Gideon could have stuck around a little bit longer, but...
yeah, he just didn't have enough vision of where BDD was, I guess, and then leaves and at least gets 1. But it looks like it's going to be a 3-for-3 trade.
Looks like he messed up his smite as well, so didn't quite have that. Here comes Lehens just flashing the wall. Just going to cast his R button onto Perfect. Says, you're going down, buddy, and he will. Lehens sets up the play and gives first blood over to Kingen. This game. BDD's like half of Lehens at this point, because not able to take down the big Raptor. Very difficult objective, and he's just not in time for the Drake, so I guess just give them a free Drake instead, because you messed up the leash on the Raptors.
And BDD had teleport advantage on the top side as well, kind of squandered. I feel like there was definitely a team fight there for KT Rolster at this point with Avaris at the spike he's at as well.
But Wolf, he needed the big Raptor.
I guess
Let's be real. I've seen this one before, but this time Perfect is behind the turret, and you know what? It's going to actually work out, especially because Cuz is here, and he is looking to turn this one around. Flash available, flash on in, gets on to Jiu, the flash chains, and Jiu is just dead, just like that, so quickly, and even Lehens as well will bite the dust as he goes down. Gideon gets out. A big committal here from KT, but it pays off. They pick up 2 kills.
Yeah, this time the jungler is there. This time he is going to make you pay for it. However, Nongshim racing, they will lose the race.
Yeah, I mean, makes sense. KT, 3 people down in the bottom lane, actually 4. And yeah, they're able to just knock it down with the demolish. Kingen not quite able to match that speed. Playing this game quite passively, quite laid back. Now, we are fighting for the objectives. Feat of strength here.
Yes, this is big.
And over the wall they go. Duck Dom, he is going to get burst down. The knockup comes in. He takes a long time to fall, actually, but big block on the Maokai ultimate as well. And the fact that Duck Dom, you know, no flash available.
Did anything, the chain is going to be there, but it doesn't have it in this draft. So if he gets caught by a Gideon ult, you know, in any situation besides this one, you know, Lehens can follow up right though. Nongshim have really controlled the tempo, even with such a small gold lead, really well. Is Lehens again?
Going in once again, ult in onto Duck Dom as well, as Fisher trying to extend for him, and they're just going to kill Wei on the backside of that. Fisher wanted a second kill, and at first I was like, man, just kill the Braum, you know, take what you can get. As Lehens, again, this is really, like, I feel like we're just, Lehens, he's doing everything. We're living in his world.
Oh yeah, we really are. To Nongshim, and I don't know, it's really problematic in this one for KT so far.
Weird thing about it too is that Wei was just standing, staring at him.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you can't kill me. You don't have the damage. Just not expecting Fisher to show up. Now, Chemtech Soul is buffed on this patch, and
11 to 13, baby.
11% to 13%. You see, like, Nongshim are like, I know about the buff. I saw the patch notes. Gideon, he wants to steal. He's gonna get it. And there you go. He picks up the first Chemtech Drake as the fans go wild.
They have Braum and otherwise BDD. And if the Ambessa can get backline access, who are you accessing? The tank Jace? Or the Kai'Sa that has flash and can shield with her ultimate and has a bunch of peel in this draft? It's really hard to start fights when Nongshim just walk up to the objective and say, well, I mean, I'm on it. Aurora too much. He is very tanky, a big threat to deal with in this game. As grouping for Otacon right now, remember, teleport was just used for Fisher into the mid lane, but Kingen has his, and Fisher's very close, does control that mid prio right now. I don't know if Oh boy.
They're just letting Lehens do whatever he wants in their jungle now, trying to force a flash, I think it's Lehens, but BDD, now he's going in, he's gonna scoop up two, but he's alone! The Mega Cone comes in, and finally the rest of the team does follow up, but Nongshim will pick up the first kill. Fisher immediately gonna melt here to the Mbessa though, and guess who is not here? It's Jiwoo. Finally comes in, finally presses his buttons, and may be able to turn this one around, but the front line is going down. Jiwoo still unchecked. It's Jiwoo against Perfect, and it will be the Kaisa who wins the fight in the end, cuz all alone. And Jiwoo, he took his sweet time, but when he showed up, man, he made the difference.
And BDD Lens is an ex-KT player. You played with him. You know what he's like. It's already there. And the ability for Jiwoo to follow up so quickly, how tanky the Nautilus is, opting into a fight like this when you have no control is just really not going to be it for me. They did play it really well.
It's got TP. And you see that Nongshim are threatening this Baron. Will they actually start it with the Otacon buff? You have to.
Gideon's like, this is the biggest grub I've ever seen.
Small grubs, big grubs, I take them all down.
They've got tons of control over this choke point. Fisher alone could just ult to prevent them from coming in.
Well, he definitely will eventually, I would assume. Lehens is just going to get the withdrawal, but nobody is getting into the pit. Cuz cannot get it down. The Aurora ult is in, and Fisher obviously going to try for a kill. Not going to pick it up, as Kingen also does get cleaned up there in the withdrawal. Some extra gold's given over to KT, but Nongshim take down the objective.
And Tank Jace is actually going to love it a lot.
Yeah. You got Tank Jace, you got Sejuani, going to be even that much more obnoxious to take down, even the Nautilus, right? It's not insignificant. You know, we love to meme Chemtech Soul over here at the LCK for sure, but get some buffs here and there.
Also outpokes him now with Vision, with the Void Seekers.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's the thing, you know, especially before he gets his, Last Whisper item. Once he does finish that, he's not really doing much to the front line. And he's not really poking better than the enemy team. Copy what the top level teams do, and it just doesn't quite work out as well. I feel like Nongshim have done a bit of that in terms of their macro play and vision denial, but they've gotten really good at it.
Yeah.
Especially when not challenged, which has happened a lot in this game. Gideon is very tanky. Here comes the Maokai ultimate, will lock them down, and now the turn onto Sejuani. Eventually they get the kill, but look at Kinga's position, hops over the wall, and guess what? Duckdom's dead again. Fisher on the backside here. Can they kill Mbessa? They finally will, as Perfect does get one kill. Kingen super tanky, it's him up against BDD. Fisher able to come back in and do a bit of damage. The hook hits for Lehens, and BDD is running away from a Nautilus, and Fisher is running away from a Maokai. They might both go down, although BDD gets over the wall and he gets a plant. The one thing to keep him alive. And now
he's got Ripmaker.
Has to respect. In goes Kingen looking for the kill, and he will pick it up.
Oh, it's not enough heals there for BDD. Down he goes. As, you know, the setup there was really nice for KT, one of their best fights of the game. That's solo for Nongshim after the win.
Yeah.
Try to set up your side lanes before you can start pushing through that with that phalanx that we saw KT do last time, and they're just behind the play again here as Nongshim start to clear out these waves. That static shift really worth its value here in gold for Jiwoo in this game, really helping them clear them out.
Yeah, you see the trade of ults here. Kingen is level 18, he's jumping into the fight. Fisher, though, I'm not sure about that one. He wants to get Duckdom, but Duckdom, oh, he's gonna get killed and sniped by the Nautilus. Also, BDD, meanwhile, just going down, and Perfect, he's gotta do it all alone. He's the one damage dealer left. It is Mbessa, but it's not quite enough. And Nongshim, they lock down the fight. And if they've got a wave here, they might look to push to end instead.
Got so much damage at this point.
I think they just get it.
I think they do end.
Jiwoo with the classic Kaisa BM. You get that all the time in solo queue.
And it's classic. And Gideon can even tank the turret additionally here because he has so much health, and it's just enough time. KT knocked down a peg here in the first game.
I mean, they have Poppy, but Alistar offers you a little bit more back and forth, some engage power, some defense as well.
Sometimes I like Alistar in drafts where you can really force fights around your ultimate. And
you never see that one coming. A lot of trading up here in the top lane. Kingen might be in trouble, but he's holding the wave in a spot, but oh, the flash comes in, and Cuz is not able to hit him as Kingen flashes away. He stays safe.
Information, of course, to KT that this is being taken. Gonna see Fisher go for a back. We'll see what he is able to pick up off of this. Just an extra long sword. This goes for a cheeky reset there. KT do grab the dragon. This is going to be trade of objectives. And neither team is an incredible side laning comp, as Lahenza's a bit cut off.
They have no idea. It's just a face check. Duck Dom. Eventually, he's just going to get knocked up. They just have no idea. Nobody checks the brush. And they're just going to die for it. It's not even Duck Dom's fault.
And Fisher was there. So tired. Somebody just said, right? You zoomed it off.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was a pretty cracked play.
Yep.
Lehens is dead now. Gideon is going to miss his ult. It was beyond the max range. He tried his best. It was on target, but now maybe a dive. This is a Poppy and an MF to try to clear the wave. The cleanse comes through, but it is MF, so she just dies. And Gideon, ooh, very close. A bunch of flashes have to be used by KT just to get out. Fisher gonna show himself first and then look to enter. BDD trying to set something up, but he might just bait his team in as Fisher gets the kill. BDD in a rough spot. Gideon getting knocked into the wall, and Fisher still here. The Q3 gonna hit again, and Duck Dom, he doesn't have any sums. Nice charm here from BDD. Very close to getting the kill onto Duck Dom.
Because it gets her to shoot real fast. Then Fisher here, I mean, this is just... The guy's kind of crazy. His movement is so difficult to predict in this situation, and he just snap flash ults and trades one back. Not able to get the full setups here, though, onto Duck Dom, unfortunately for him, but still. But I don't know what it necessarily means.
Somebody would have to be here for it to be much. And speaking of which, here is that somebody. Yeah, you just press your R button, in goes BDD, gonna land the charm. Kingen running real fast to his doom, and he's trying to actually get the kill on him. BDD flashes away! He turns it around! Kingen! Are you kidding me? And now he's gonna get a double kill!
What?
How did he manage that?
He doesn't even have Ripmaker sitting on the Leandries. My man is cooking, literally. He cooked them to death. Stops some backs as they are just going to force this turret, and if anyone stays, they're dead.
Yeah.
Really good play here from Nongshim. So oppressive. Man, now I think it will get your replay.
Yeah, they're really great from ahead, as we've seen.
Have Merc Treads, to be clear as well, you know?
Yeah.
Just wasn't enough damage.
They couldn't quite burst him 100-0, and then he flashes away from some of the damage. Trying to dive into Cassante, that's an interesting one, as Lahen's tanking it up with his ult, and that will be enough to tank all of that turret damage. In goes Cuz, and he has to flash away.
Reading members, but you're just too late on the play. You've got to be able to judge that faster, and I think it is the frustration coming through that you're mentioning as to why Cuz ended up making that judgment call there, or what ultimately ended up being a poor judgment call. Isn't punished too much for it, but the flash being down now again hurts his ability to engage in a really meaningful team fight. And it's also just going to be, instead, but they're not losing control of the Dragon, so they're winning on both fronts.
Yeah. I mean, they control everything. Like, I thought game one was pretty oppressive and one-sided, but this game two has reached a new level. Gideon, rather, is going to flash just to avoid Cuz having a chance to, you know, flash ultim or anything. Doesn't actually have flash. Fisher, wow, going to avoid that. He's still dead, but nice mechanics in his death. Buying time for the Nongshim push into mid, I guess, and bot.
Yeah, and they don't get Dragon yet, but they should be able to gather for it here because Fisher will have TP in 25 seconds and can head over there if it is necessary. Bottom lane, Dragon, these things are all up. And he got the successful, push in. They got the turret earlier.
What's
they got
going
the kill.
on here? Is King in here? The TP top, I guess he backed.
No one is here to save him. Let's see if we can get that Yone. Meanwhile, Atakan.
I mean, yeah, they see Cuz and Atakan's gone.
And like Fisher can just let this turret go and TP bottom. Just get out of here if you wanted to. Like,
or he could die. That's okay too. Yeah, he's very dead. I just don't think it really matters, but it's pretty funny that he does good.
My point here, though, is that, like, yeah, he shouldn't have died there, and he could have just given it up. But if they don't try to dive him, and they go bottom and contest Atakan, he's there.
Point in time is 2 items completed, plus the Stork Pen boots, upgraded feats of strength, and nobody really can lane against the Rumble now. Like, Ahri certainly can't. Perfect already was having a rough time. Tried to set something up there, and Kingen immediately knew because it was very obvious. Like, why would a level 13 Cassante be running at me, right? Now trying to run at the Leona as Wei tries to flash away. A lot of damage coming up from both the MF and the Rumble, but not quite enough as Wei will survive. Lehens as well getting pretty low. He's going to survive. Gideon might have to pay for that, but the withdrawal does come through. And even Solar Flare going wide for good measure as Fisher is going to TP into mid. Not able to do too much, but just more pressure from Nongshim, I guess.
I mean, Nongshim have just basically put everyone around Kingen. So, like you mentioned, Ari can't beat him in the side lane anymore. Taking more of the map. I don't love that teleport, but the fact that he could have come down and helped out, it just shows that Nongshim has so many options. Lehens.
Yeah, KT trying to go for a play on the top side, and Nongshim were just one step ahead of this one. Jonah Strong was hiding the vision for a reason. And that's going to be a nice little free kill onto Wei.
You know, who's like, maybe, like, you know, let's see what's going on over there. We just have no idea. We can't see anything on the map. And once again, can you catch this Rumble by Ari? No, because the whole team is there. And this allows Fisher to just be on the other side of the map, killing objectives and killing minions. He's 2-2. Barrel as well, as Nongshim are hit by a rocket, but I don't think they care.
I mean, they should be able to get this Baron. What happens after is really the question. Not even going to smite that one. Charm goes down on a Kingen, but he's still alive. There's no follow-up. The rest of KT not even there. Duck Domp's not even here yet. As finally he is going to show up. Lehen's got his ult rolling, but it's 5v4. And you just lost the Baron. So Nongshim, they say, okay, we'll take our win and we'll back away. You know, we took a lot of damage. Actually. But they just don't really have a lot of vision in their own jungle. It has been that way for quite a while. And I don't feel like from this far behind you can really, like, harpoon, but that does mean that you're not in range. Meanwhile, the inhibitor is going down.
They let Kingen do the pushing, and then they let the 4-man do the hitting. And then when they try to get the Rumble, he's just so far away, he's so safe they can't catch him, and then turrets go down, inhibs go down. This is beautiful macro from Nongshim on display.
Team anymore, which is why we're talking about all the stakes in the narrative, is now looking for the dive here. Lehens goes in. He can easily tank this turret because it's just dead meat. And they don't have a wave, but Fisher doesn't seem to care as he will be pulled many different ways and taken down. That's going to stop the push for now from Nongshim.
And the next objective, you know, is like where you have bottom side. This is the only place where there's no fair, though. Like,
but also really dying.
Yeah.
Well, Gideon's just going to step on some chompers. And, well, he stepped on something, got stunned up, and either way, we're diving still as we're killing the inhibitor. Maybe a chancer for KT. Gideon is going to go down, but Jiwoo able to peel up against Cousin Kingen. He is the raid boss. He is the guy you got to kill. You can kill Jiwoo. They don't really care about that. You got to take down Kingen, and then we're talking as BDD just going to get gunned down here by Jiwoo. And that should be finally the end of the game here for Nongshim, taking game 2.
Clean 2-0 start, and for KT, unfortunately, there's a lot to see here. Nongshim, very dominant start to this series. Lehens puffs up his collar. He's ready to pack it up and take a break here as Nongshim, all business, all macro, Kingen. They have a composition that is based around getting the Zeri ahead early. Hasn't swapped to bottom lane just yet, by the way. See Gideon come over here, try to apply some pressure with the prio that they have in mid and in top. Makes it very difficult for Cuz to hard farm his jungle. And it's going to be a smite fight. Lehens.
Uh-oh. Cuz pushed away. You see they don't overcommit to it with the rotations coming in. As Lehens might be in a bit of trouble. The disengage cone does come in. Oh, Wei's going to miss the engage, and Fisher Valkyries on Cuz. He's not going to get the kill. Lehens is low, but so is BDD. BDD goes down first, and Fisher again in the wonkiest, weirdest spot.
The way?
Rel needs farm, yeah.
It's not that far behind Ju in this game, but I just wasn't watching what transpired there moments before. Perhaps just a bad trade and he had to back or something, but either way, Gideon doing what he loves. And in this case, I don't think he's going to die doing it because Fisher is here.
And they're trying to set up something onto a Rakan who presses his dash ability. Meanwhile, the grubs are all gone. So the grubs are gone. Yes, the spear's going to hit. Lehens might have to back. Sure. Lives easily. They could go for a redive here, but meanwhile, a little dive under here, trying to predict the dash was Lahen's. Kind of works out, but doesn't get the knock-up, gets the predict, but now BDD with his ult available, just going in, 1v2, might have a Q, gets it down. As meanwhile, up on the top side, Kingin, they will succeed on the redive, so KT finally, they wake up a bit.
Yeah. Weird.
Well, I think they just want to go for the fight, but they're not really doing it very well. They're trying to chase the recon. TP will come in. And Fisher, you see, he's not even going to TP, so it's actually Noshim that make the final call and say, well, we're just not going to fight for this one. Kingin just going to give a thumbs up, but might be in a bit of trouble here. Has to try to fight, goes down. That's another kill over to the Zeri.
And this is a great composition. Loses his flash there. Both of them have movement abilities, but it's kind of a weird follow there from Perfect. Could have just been happy with the flash himself, but thought he was in range to set something up over the Nidalee right now as well in this game, as Gideon has had full control over the jungle. This is a really nice setup here for KT. This is impressive, and Kingin doesn't have flash.
They do have Gideon here, and there's the knock-up in a way. He's only a level 5 Rel. I think he's just dead. No flash available, so A is just left to die. The TP will come through. They get the kill over to Gideon. Now they're going to try to turn this one onto Duckdom, who has to flash again, but the follow-up is there. There's just too much hard engage on the side of Noshim. And as a team, they overextend. They don't expect Gideon there, and Noshim are able to punish.
Yeah, this is kind of a disaster for KT. Still holding on to a sliver of a gold lead here, but that was a big whiff, and it's going to be a Dragon going over to Noshim as well on the play. Perfect will get some additional gold here on this Renekton and further his lane lead. But he is on a timer. He is Renekton after all. This feels like a really nice neutralization of the advantages that KT had earlier. I don't think they had to go that deep for the play, and Wei was left on his lonesome, isolated there. You can see his flash is up now, but he didn't have it at the moment. It's a whole turret to the Renekton, which means it's going to be a lot tougher for Kingin to actually stem the bleeding here, but worn out. But Perfect is opting to side instead. Does have TP. See if he wants to utilize it here. He's going to get a turret at least.
Less off position down for Wei, and now he's just taking a massive amount of poke damage. And yeah, turret goes. Perfect TPs. They want to take the fight. Wei's getting healed up by the Nidalee. Maybe want to go in here. Wei not going to hit anything as he does get the shift out of them, but the turn comes through from Noshim, and the team fighting is just so much better from them. Nice steal from Cuz. And he will, oh, he's not going to go in there for that one. And BDD trying to make it all happen by himself. He's just going to go down immediately. You can feel the desperation
look
in
at
the air for
Duckdom's
KT.
Damage in that fight, 99. He did nothing. Doesn't have the range yet at this point. That's
Ezreal's
a reverse
4-0.
Yeah, that's a reverse Zeri moment. I think our first.
Oh God, fun times.
Purioning back in time, Valdez.
Yeah. Except now it's, yeah.
He's going to get a turret as well.
I mean, realistically, they could easily come back in this game. They're not even really behind at all, you know? Like, they have even gold. They have feats of strength. They still have a good comp.
It's not hitting the breakpoints the way they want to.
Yeah. You could just kind of feel it in the air that they're not really all there. We'll see, I mean, what this next fight looks like as they get pushed off the Dragon and Noshim take it for free. They say thank you for the leash. No engage comes through. I say that, and the engage comes through from Noshim. And this time, Wei's going to hit the front line. Okay, the follow-up is just not there, though. And again, you've got this massive Ezreal doing tons of damage. Alongside of the Corki, they just line up for it. And Cuz is also going to go down. No disengage code for him. Triple kill for the Corki.
And they're acting like in these engages, they've got this big swath of AoE AP damage they're going to layer over this Rel or something, but it's a 1.5 item Tristana, 1.5 item Zeri. You know, it's a big ult. But then what? And they were late on the play to get to the Dragon. Once again, the engage feels like desperation. As Duckdom was like fishing for Jew in that fight, he keeps trying to look for the rocket jump onto the Ezreal, and the Ezreal's just like, okay, I E out. You're not a Kaisa. Kingin he's just juggling the aggro. It's fine.
Okay.
We can PvE, right?
Right? When the circle comes up, yeah, you got to... Gideon!
Where's the white mage?
The circle!
Healer!
When the circle comes out, don't stand in the circle.
BDD does have Runins. If he had it during that Rel, ultimately he would have done a little bit more.
Uh-oh. Well, we got to sleep here. Cuz going to flash out. Gideon, oh, the damage is insane, but the follow-up here from Wei is quite good, and now you do have Duckdom over the top. He's going to miss his flash, but he gets away, and the withdrawals, they get one. How many more will they get is the question. Kingen flashes in, gets another kill, and they're struggling so much just to take out a con buffs away from Gnomeshim. And, you know, they get 3, but Kingen's just running through a turret. Like, you can feel the vibes right now are so heavily favored to Gnomeshim. Is when he gets ahead, he flies ahead. He gets so far ahead, and you can't catch up. He's so good at it, at farming, especially on Lilia. Another engage comes in here. They're trying to lock down Gideon, but he's so tanky. Even Lahens is going to get away. And so the engage not quite there. They turn onto the Renekton, does Gnomeshim. They burn him to a crisp. In goes BDD over the wall, but he can't even catch Lahens.
They just can't catch anybody.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. That's what they say, right?
That is what they say.
Like that right now. It's kind of a big celebration for Gnomeshim, but also kind of the opposite of that here for KT. So it's very much a two-sided feel. They have a best of 5 under their belt from plans.
True.
They're just doing the Baron now, and the damage is there. I mean, it's Fisher. It's Kingen and Gideon. They should have enough, as now trying to engage here onto Lahens. They're thinking about getting Cuz in, but it's too late. Perfect gonna spot it. That health bar, how low it is. And now, again, you just have so much reliable engage on the side of Gnomeshim. You press your buttons, and from this far ahead, you can kill anyone, including Perfect, who is going to go down, I believe, now 0-4. Here comes Kingen. He's not done yet. He's like, you wanna go more? He's gonna find Duckdom as well. Duckdom not able to hop away. And it just feels like bullying at this point. A singular sleep onto just Cuz as they hunt them down like prey. As at least Duckdom is gonna get that kill with the Zult. BDD as well. Does a little bit of something over here on the right side, but he goes down. Dies to Lilia, who now has 7 kills. Gideon 7-0-10.
And meanwhile, Gio's just pressing W on buildings and making them blow up. They are ready to end this one. Arguably the most one-sided match, including play-ins that we've seen here in LCK Cup, and it's a best of 5. It doesn't feel like one way.
Oh, they're going to get another engage here, but he just dies.
Oh, just one more.
Yeah.
0-6.
I mean, they have another wave coming in, and they still have Baron, so... try as they may, KT, I don't think they've got a shot at this point in time, unfortunately for them. But Gnomeshim, man, have they leveled up. KT did not know what they were getting themselves into tonight, as Gnomeshim will take the 3-0 in flying fashion.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.